Oh, swivel heads, it's Greg Olson, Green Gregs. We've had a lot of news lately. We've had come out that within the last weeks there's been an assassination attempt on Kim Jong-un, the fearless leader of North Korea. And we have a lot of slugfest news going on in the Ukraine. China, of course, is sending ships around Taiwan again. Yeah, we have the regular nuclear war news, just a cooking and a bucking World War III, just coming around. It's going to be an everyday thing. The slugfest going on. Things are getting testy, and things could slip into the slippery slope of no return toward nuclear war or World War III. Let's hope that don't happen, but you got to be prepared for the worst. Then we got a tropical storm coming in toward Florida, the Gulf Coast, hit maybe parts of Alabama, Georgia. So we'll cover these things. That's late. I'm in Arizona, and so we'll do the best we can. I'm kind of limping here with other computer resources and lighting and other things, so bear with me, guys. So here we go. I'm going to do some screen shares. Let's see how this works. I'm not set up to do this way from my laptops, so bear with me a minute. All righty, guys. Ding, 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 ding. Here we are. I hope this looks good. And I'm going to see who's in the chat room. I have got a little old laptop that was real clunky that I quit using a long time ago. Then I'm going to try to at least use the monitor the chat room from. Kind of like I used to do for my desktop and my chat. Anyway, and I see my stage light is really not up to par. I just bought it from Walmart. It's just not quite where I wanted, guys. Bear with me a second. I hate doing it this way, guys, but anyway. All right, this is being aggravating. So here we go. Ukraine, within striking distance of breaking through Russia's densest area that they've been fighting. Apparently, they're on the verge of coming in through heavy minefields. And also, Kadyrov is also making threats to Finland and Sweden. We'll talk about that in a moment. We got 64 in the room. That's amazing for this time. We got Alaska in the room. All right, guys. So to kind of go over this stuff a little bit. Sorry for the delay getting started out here. Like I'm in a new setup. It's kind of clunky for me. Ukraine is within striking distance of a through in its war against Putin's Russia, supposedly according to the Ukrainians. I'll show you counter evidence that Russians are building up for a whole new invasion too. Well, whole new level of reinforcement of their troops, bringing in 100,000 new troops, and with a possible another 450,000 to be brought in. So, guys, this could go. This could still go either way, but I think in the long term, Russia has got the upper hand. So I'm not taking sides. I'm just telling you what I see, because in the war of attrition, I don't see how Ukraine can win in the end. 12B Georgia. See, in Georgia, they're very good. So in any event, so what we're talking about here is they've gone through some of the heaviest minefields in Russia's outer defense. And because they got through those minefields, they went through the first line of defense, which I've been reading for 2 weeks. Oh, we just broke through Russia's first line of defense stuff, right? Well, apparently they really got through it now. And so they're up to the next line of defense, which is more mines and traps and all these kind of things. So they're up to a whole nother level of stuff to go through. But they claim that this level of minefield is not going to be as heavily mined because the Russians wanted a way to retreat and they'd be trapped in by the kind of minefields they had before. So they think they can go a lot faster. If Ukraine can get behind the Russian lines, then they can make significant advances and outflank the Russians, and the Russians could be on the run in big trouble. Of course, that also could mean that Putin might be more tempted to use tactical nuclear weapons. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh no, there's no way Putin would ever use tactical nuclear." Well, actually, he said he would, and so did Medvedev and several other people from the Kremlin under certain circumstances, and they spelled out what the circumstances are. And in many ways, those circumstances have already been violated and crossed. So to say that it won't happen, the same people who are saying that are also said Russia would invade Ukraine. So I'm not saying it will happen. What I'm saying is you've got to be prepared if it does happen, because it could escalate. And whatever side you're on is immaterial to the escalation, because you're stuck in a country that might be involved in that one way or another, either here, as many of you are overseas. So you need to be prepared. That's the bottom line. This video, my channel, is not about who wins the war. It's about you. It's about you being prepared, you being ready. So if you stood in here starting to pick me apart about one side or the other, it doesn't matter in terms of your prepping. Okay? So that's where we're coming from. Get ready, guys. You got to be ready. That is the whole point here. So hello, folks in the chat room. All right. So that is the bottom line. Yeah, like I don't want to get too loud here. If I'm being a little bit understated, there's a couple asleep in the door across the way. They told me I could do this, but I can't get really loud. And, you know, my normal self. So I'm being a little subdued for that reason, I hope. They may not let me do this again. It's when the sun comes up, it skylights here. You wake up. So that's coming really soon. So I got to get through this, guys. All right, guys. So bear with me. Yeah, this isn't about what side this, that. That's not my channel. Is not about that. My channel is about you. It's about prepping, getting prepared. A lot of people miss that point. I'm bringing you news of things to be aware of. And this is another article saying the same kind of thing. I'm going to show you a countervail against this stuff. Starting to look like momentum. Ukraine makes more tactical significant gains in the south. And then again, you know, Ukraine's armed forces made further gains, and you know, so we're talking about Zaporizhzhia region, some other regions too. I got all kind of Norton popping up junk on my computer. Norton's a pest. Norton's the worst virus I've ever seen in my life. I hate Norton. Anyway, Putin ally, this is Kadyrov, threatening to attack Sweden and Denmark when they're finished in Ukraine. I told you that's actually, well, since Finland has opened a whole new NATO border against Russia, I could see where Russia would support that, because Russia wants to minimize the borders NATO has with Russia and the routes for invasion. When Finland joined NATO, that vastly expanded the Russian border. So I see where the Russians would support this. Kadyrov's position has to do with them burning Koran in Finland and Sweden lately. So that's what he'd be upset about. So it's kind of interesting that a country such as Russia, that's got that big onion dome church inside the Kremlin, has the crescent and then the cross over the crescent to at the very tip of the onion dome. I've seen that church. It's there inside the Kremlin, right off the Red Square, to celebrate. And the only reason that church survived the communist Russia was that church exists as celebration of the Russians beating the Muslims that were trying to invade them, you know, hundreds of years ago. So, but now they're looking at using the Muslims to invade Christian countries. Take it or leave it. I'm not taking, you know, this is not about taking sides. I just find it interesting. So, might be the best for GG channel to stay on topic. What am I getting off on topic there for, C. Shelley? Anyway. Welcome to World War III. Putin could employ nuclear weapons in Ukraine. So that's what this article is all about. And it's about the different ways and reasons he might do that. And it's nothing new. It's the stuff we've talked about before. This has been rehashed, talking about he might do a warning shot. He might go for a military target or a civilian target. You know, this is not new news. It's just a rehash of the same old stuff. So I'm not going to go into great detail of that. That's just the people are still writing that. I'm surprised that they can still write rehash beans like that. So okay. People in the chat. Well, you know what? I believe in freedom of speech, guys. That's what distinguishes my channel. I'm the president of the Freedom Restoration Foundation. What you say in this chat room doesn't mean I approve of it. And some people have that interpretation. Somebody says something in the chat room, you leave it, that means you approve it. No, it don't. It doesn't mean anything like that. And don't on any other channel except for one channel I know on YouTube. So anyway, I believe in freedom of speech. Just don't go crazy and don't get rude or crude or do any cursing. Okay, keep it a family channel, guys. That's my main rule. And do be respectful to each other. Be respectful to each other. Okay? That's all I ask. Here we are, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Russia's considering Russia just deploys over 100,000 troops to Lyman and Kupiansk fronts. I just talked about how Ukraine is planning to be getting ahead. But I've told you many times in this channel that in a long-term war of attrition, I don't see how Ukraine can win. And America's getting tired of sending stuff over, and their generosity of weapon systems may not last. Ukraine's got, if they're to win, they're going to have to make a spectacular. If they are, again, I'm not taking sides. If they are to win, they got to make a spectacular game really soon. And their so-called spring offensive is getting long in the tooth, if you know what I mean. But they're claiming they're making progress. But those claims aren't that much different than the ones I sent a few weeks ago. Russia considers mobilizing another 450,000 people, according to Ukraine's defense intelligence chief. So this is a Ukrainian website here. But according to the Ukrainians, Russia's getting ready for major deployment. So you tell me, and how can Ukraine stand up for all this? How can Ukraine continue to survive? The deeper well of people and the materials and different things that Russia can pull from. If I need to go in detail and explain this business of war of attrition, I will. Now, supposedly Russia has gone in and they're claiming they got DNA evidence that proves that Prigozhin indeed bit the bullet. I don't know, guys, you tell me. So they claim that they proved it, even though they can't really pull a body out. You know, some of the splattering grease are claiming they got the DNA that's him. But on the other hand, it also suggests that it could become a hunted man due to this, because there was a big loyal following of Prigozhin, including in the Wagner Group. And the co-founder of the Wagner Group, he said a number of things that indicates that they would like to go after Putin. Let's see, one comment in particular, so I'm going to find it here. Yeah, this guy, Nuke was the number 2 in Wagner. He was a co-founder of Wagner, and he referred to the death of Prigozhin. He said Prigozhin was a hero of Russia, a true patriot of his motherland, who died as a result of actions of traitors to Russia. So he's calling Putin a traitor. So that's pretty high charge, or seemingly. I can't prove that directly, but you know, that's a high charge statement, very high charged. So what's going to be cooking from that? I don't know. Maybe nothing. You know, he just could be mad or something, but he's got a lot of power within what's left of the Wagner Group. Can they do anything now? I don't know. Time will tell, guys. Time will tell. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So let's see here. Kim Jong-un underwent an assassination. Apparently there was an explosion in near him that they think was a bomb that was intended to take him out. And apparently this is just coming to light, but it happened sometime within the last 8 weeks. And they say he's been beefing up security. And, you know, this is probably part of why he's acting so erratic and emotional right now, is he thinks somebody is after him, or maybe be somebody internal to his own regime, or it may be operatives. And it's hard to operate as an operative from outside in North Korea. It's such a tight kingdom. So what happened there? I don't know, guys. Yeah, I will go read the chat here in a minute, guys. I just want to get through some of the news for the morning watchers. China sends dozens of aircraft vessels toward Taiwan after the Biden administration greenlit $500 billion in arms sales. Well, you know, we got to expect that kind of thing. China gets mad when anybody anywhere in the world does anything that is not helping them. Their wild takeover agenda. So let them get mad. Let them get mad. Wells Fargo is experiencing issues with the banking system. Yeah, that's what that lovely guy. So we'll change the news. Talk about economics. X pivots from digital currency to non-local, to local currency and non-BRICS countries to follow. So what they're doing now is they're just setting things up where it's easier for people to, I lost your home to wildfire. Oh Lord, cha-cha. When did that happen? Hey, Steve Irwin. All right, I'll look at the chat room here in a minute. Some more guys. So BRICS pivots. What they're trying to do is, India's already done this. What they're doing is countries are now starting to trade in their local currencies. They're trying to set that up. We're going to be facilitated better. And that's happening. That's going, no matter what happens, whether BRICS comes out with their gold-backed currency they claim they're going to do or not, this is taking away market share from the US dollar, which means this is an inflationary pressure any way you shake it, guys. BRICS expansion will significantly speed up de-dollarization, according to Vinod D'Souza in this article, the Watcher's Guru. So, you know, we've talked about that. There's no point in me going deeper in here. What it means is when there's less demand for the dollar, there gets to be a glut on the marketplace, and that's inflationary, big time. That's a good reason you might want to consider going to Defy the Grid using my link that I put in some of my videos. I will put a link in here later. Defy the Grid is a good place to go, guys, because they got a deal. See, the price of actual gold is not the same as a spot market price. Go to anybody selling bullion and buy at spot market price. That's for like paper gold, the stuff that don't exist, you know. But what their price guarantee is here, if you find a better deal anywhere else, they'll meet it or beat it. And yeah, you can buy bullion, you can buy coins. I like the gold backs personally, because the gold backs are spendable, just like bills, you know, in small fungible amounts. Now, it's, you know, it's going to be higher price for these than the price of gold, but you know, you can't. It's hard to spend gold to buy a loaf of bread, and those are artworks or collector's items. What in the world did I open here? Oh yeah, more bank stuff. U.S. Bank is now freezing some retiree accounts. These banks got trouble. They're in big trouble. That's scary when they're freezing retiree accounts. That's just awful. But they really said your so-called money in the bank is not really your money. So y'all go figure that one, right? We got 152 in the room. That's good considering it's been a while since I've done a live session, except for the one from next to my property out here, which I deleted because I said some things that I decided shouldn't be on the internet in terms of my own security. BRICS members, I'm not going to go into what that is. It may not be what you think, and that's fine. Don't speculate, please. I don't want that to be any speculation to be listed in my chat room, so just leave that topic alone. If you don't, I'll have to hide the chat. BRICS members, yeah, India. That's what they're saying. India has made a 1 million barrels of oil purchase with their rupees. 1 million barrels of oil. That's what I was talking about earlier, guys. All right, we're going to try to get through this stuff fast. You know, here's our normal earthquake watch. Things aren't looking too bad here in the States. Puerto Rico's rocking. Look at that. Good time. And we always have a lot of earthquakes in Puerto Rico, but they got some big ones down there. And let's see what's going on in the world a little bit. Japan's got a big one. What is that? 5.0. Of course, there's no surprise in that. Indonesia's got a fresh one. A lot of them always around Indonesia, Australia. Oh yeah, Western Colombia, 5.7. That one's 5.0. 4.1, Chile, Peru, Colombia, Tanzania. You probably call that Tanzania. No, it's Tanzania from the locals. Tanzania, 4.7. Oh, something up in Afghanistan. 4.7. All right, guys, enough earthquakes. All right, here's the tropical storm alert, guys. Looks like it's coming into Florida and southeast Georgia. Hey, Tammy, appreciate that. So this is what we're looking at right there. And it looks like it's going to be Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. roughly hitting as I think about a Category 2 hurricane. And that's that storm starts with I. What do we call that? Idalia. Idalia, I guess. Idalia. But that thing was hitting, guys. So if you're over in this, right-hand side usually gets the worst storms. Guys, if Cat 2 can bring you more flooding than you might think. If you're in the area, get out. That's the best prepping advice, is to get out. You can board your stuff up. You still got a little time. But if you wait toward the last minute, all the highways going out are going to be crowded. Anybody that's lived in Florida knows that. I recommend you watch Survival Living. He's in Florida. He's a certified survival trainer. He's come in this channel, and I should do a video with him in their future interview. He's got a real good channel. I highly recommend, because he's videos on what to do for hurricanes. Go look, search for him in his channel, Survival Living. Good man. All right. Windy. If y'all want me to go into more detail on the hurricane stuff, I will. Oh, look at this storm here. That one's looking interesting. That's built up. This is Idalia right here. That one's going to hit somewhere. I'll have to do some more stuff on that soon. Well, it's supposed to be a heat dome in the eastern part of the United States. Looks like 60s, 50s. Huntsville 73, Birmingham 75, Carolina 70s, 82 in Mobile. That's not so bad down there. Tampa 79. Tampa may feel that storm. Jacksonville 79. This storm's going to go across Jacksonville, Lake City. If Nightman's wife's in here, Nightman's wife could tell you a lot about being prepared for the storm. She's far enough inland not to have to worry about the flood. The biggest problems of these hurricanes is flooding. The winds can be horrendous too. But if you're in a flood zone, watch out. New Days is not with us. I don't know what's happening with her tonight. But her community is 53 degrees. It looks like a heat wave to me. Of course, it is night. All right, what else we got? 100 in Phoenix. Well, that's the usual. Phoenix is always 100. It's just 64 in Flagstaff. See that there? 36-degree difference. Alpine 59. Ooh. Cholo 66. I had dinner up there last night with Jesse Mills. Snowflake 70 degrees right here where I'm at, or thereabouts. I'm not exactly in Snowflake, but really close. That general area. All right. Up the left coast here. Yeah, I'm not going to go too long with stuff, guys. If y'all got a special request, you can tell me in a minute. Los Angeles 70. San Francisco 62. Check out Memphis down here. And back out. Vegas 100, just like Phoenix. You get a lot of you guys in Utah. Michelle Moab, Price, 80s, 70s, 79s up in here. Provo 75. Slick, Salt Lake City 79. Ogden, I've spent many nights in Ogden 77. We go to Washington State. Let's go over to Minnesota. Hey, Michelle Young. Thank you. Salute. First super chat in a while in here, because I've not been doing too many videos. Thank you for keeping us informed and for having a safe place we can come chat. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are very welcome. I hope y'all feel like this is a safe place. I'm not in here to jump all over people and cut them down. That is not my mission. I believe in freedom of speech. All right, guys. Nebraska, 80s. It's kind of warm up in Nebraska. South Dakota 80s. Yeah, it's warm there. They got a heat down there. North Dakota's 80s. Wow, for North Dakota, that is pretty warm. Minnesota. Yeah, where's Brian at? Is Brian in the house? He tells me I'm going to check Minnesota out now. I saw photos. I am in shock. Oh, cha-cha. That's in shock there. Yeah, Minnesota is 70s. Wisconsin, 68. And let's see, Oshkosh is 64, 6. Wisconsin Rapids, 68. Kalamazoo, 70. Grand Rapids, 70. Been to Grand Rapids. Detroit, 68. I'm driven from one side to the other. So go back to western part of the country where chewy weather is at in Oregon. You in the house, chewy weather? 71 in Roseburg, but looks like Eugene and much of the states in the 60s. Salem 70, Portland 70. 60s are pretty prevalent. Washington State looks a little warmer, 70s. Okay, it's interesting. Utah is, excuse me, Oregon is cooler than Washington State. Arnold's in the house. Let's see what's happening in Alberta. Which he gets everything in Celsius, and I got it here in Fahrenheit. Calgary 77. Oh, 77. Red Deer 73. Wow, it's cooler in Oregon than Alberta. Yeah, 70 is all up through here. Wow, Fort Murray's 80. 80. What? Further north you go, the hotter it gets. 80s in the northern Alberta. Wow, that's crazy. Let's go to Fort Greeley. I see some snow, some summer snow. There's some more snow. Yikes. Delta Junction, 61. Fairbanks, 57. Sounds nice and comfy. Cordova, 55. Anchorage, 53. Homer, 52. Seward, 48. Kodiak Island, 52. Old Harbor, 50. Anybody from down under in the house? Go down to Australia. Yeah, this scanning as easy as I do from my desktop, guys. Bear with me on that. 70s around equator. Oh, wow. Now, see, it's actually winter in Australia. And this place is normally in the 80s, this Weepaw up in this area. 68. Nice. They found some cool weather down there. Kind of cool. Canberra, 46. Sydney, 55. Melbourne, 44. Over here, and look at a bit dizzy and cross-eyed. Sometimes I get a little condition like that. Perth, 55. Hobart, 43. There we go. Sometimes I get a little cross-eyed thing. It makes me dizzy. And what causes that? Christchurch, 39. All right, that's a cool temperature. Let's look at some weather stuff here. So there's claim here about a sunspot on this far side. This massive sunspot seen by Mars rover may disrupt satellites and cover Earth with auroras. Now, this article's a few days old. I'm not seeing any great updates on it. But here's what the sunspot looks like. This picture was taken from the Perseverance Mars rover from Mars. This is not an astronomical platform. It's just a rover with a camera for detailing stuff on Mars. But it got this picture of the sun. Because the sun is on the opposite side, Mars is on the opposite side of the sun from Earth. And you see this giant sunspot. Well, that sunspot should be about to come around now. So we should see what that is. There's some concern about solar storms. We got a few good sized spots over here right now. If you look at space weather. Yeah, Greg, do you think we're getting past the point of trying to convince our normie friends and family to prep? Guys, Rick Toes, that's a good question. That's some good sized sunspots. The 3413, I'm going to come back to that. 3415, pretty good sized sunspots, but the worst ones is where you got them separated. You got like a really good sized spot over here next to this one. So I'm not as worried with those sunspots. Let's go back. That's a good question. We'll talk about the normies and everything else here in a minute. It's a really good question. Wow. There's some major sprites. Guys, at one time, people didn't even believe in these, and it just wasn't a lot of photographic evidence. These sprites that come up above thunderstorms, these things are huge, and there's been a lot of photographs of them. All right. if we want to see the roar activity, this is always a good photo to look at. Shows you where the sunlight is right now. The roars aren't that intense. I mean, if you were at Fort Greeley, you'd be seeing some. Delta Junction. All right. There's nothing in the asteroid listing coming at us that indicates that anything's coming between the Earth and the Moon that we know of, that between now and the 24th of October. That's good news. Of course, it can always be something we haven't discovered yet. Okay, guys. All right, enough for all that. I am done with the this. I'll stop screen share. Hello. Yeah, the lighting here is not that good. This camera was actually pretty good the other day, but the video is looking kind of not so great, probably because of the light. I got one of circular lights. I thought it'd be better than this, but it's come from Walmart, and it's not up to par from the ones up the little strips I bought from Lowe's back. Sometimes I use at the house. All right, guys. So let's look at some other stuff here. Maybe I can watch the chat room from this computer if I find the right thing where it's open. All right, let's see. Hey, we got Drops in the house. How you doing? Oh, yes, David and Rick said we should see these again. Okay, Redneck Prepper. Got you live. There you go. I hope I didn't throw myself off camera when I'm adjusted that. Let me see what my video's looking like. Hang on. Okay, no, it didn't. All right, let's go through some chat. I'm gonna see what I've been missing. This isn't necessarily everything because it only starts up to a certain point. All right, Mag Rising, Stan. Oh, you love the hat? I got this hat like, oh, probably 10 years ago or more, 10 or 12 years, probably 12 years ago in New Mexico. Hey, Queensland's Australia. Hey, Rodney, how you doing? So I tend to wear this hat when I come out in the West sometimes. Actually, I was going to dinner with some people tonight, and I wanted to wear something a little nicer than my beat up, dirty, greasy hat I've been wearing around out here. The one I usually wear out in the farm at the house is what I brought in, and bring my nicer hat that I usually do videos from. All right. So folks are saying. All right, Mr. C, MWC, I'm just showing you the latest. I don't get my facts from the news, and I'm not presenting them to you as facts. I'm presenting this for the point of you knowing to get your rear end ready to prep. I'm not even taking sides. I'm tired of hearing that from people. I ain't taking my facts from the news. I don't even present them as facts. I've said many times that these things are prejudice and it's propaganda. I don't say it in every video. Maybe I should. I should disclaim everything. You know, that's what bugs me about people. Some people just get all caught up in this minutia. I just talked about earlier how people get caught up in minutia, and they judge everything based on minutia, which I don't even give a rat's a about, because that's not what this channel's about, and I don't care. Okay, so it's not about this news or that news. And I got friends that are generals. I got connections in 2 different power grid defense communities. I've worked in the defense community, so watch it. You know, I get sources from a lot of stuff, but I can't share with you guys some of that stuff on screen. I just show stuff I can share, but I've showed you both sides, like of the Ukrainian war thing. I showed you the side, hey, Ukraine, we're winning, and then Russia's bringing in more troops. So don't hold me to that. I mean, come on. If you come into my channel and you think that you probably never watched me before, I get that all the time. I got like 67,000 subscribers, but only about 2,000 people ever watch a video. So I could say this 90 times, and 90% of the people watching my channel or subscribe to my channel will never hear it, I suppose. Also, a lot of people watch a video for a few minutes, and they, you know, I'm telling them the things they need to know about how I operate on my channel. They miss it. I bet you he's not even in here now. So MWC, if you're in here, I want to see you respond. Now I'm up in the chat, so I'm not where I can see it right now, but I want you to respond. Now, I'm not going to ban you. I give you freedom of speech. You got your freedom, your opinion. I'm not even going to take it off. But I want you to understand where I'm coming from, that that's immaterial. It don't even matter. That's not what I'm presenting. I don't present this stuff as facts. I present as propaganda, both sides propagandists very heavily. So that's what I put out here, guys. My phone is messed up again. I can't even hear CC. Yeah, I'm trying to be not too loud. I just got a little too loud. I got people asleep in the room next door here, guys. My birthday. Hey, Tammy, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I bet you $1 we don't hear from that guy again. He's probably done logged off. Maybe he unsubscribed. If you don't unsubscribe, you're that stupid. You think that everything that I'm buying into everything I'm presenting, then you don't know me. I've said it so many times. It's just propaganda, both sides. How many times have I said that? I've said it so many times, but it don't matter. Most people never hear it because you don't watch enough of my video to hear it. Oh, Lord. Prepare to stay ready for whatever always. That's right, ex-New York prepper. That's the point. That is the whole thing. You got it. That is the point. I would say ex-NYC is a great man. He is a real, and as they get. There you go. Cha-cha. Nick Smokes. Looking snazzy tonight, Greg. Yeah, well, like so. I had somebody make dinner for me tonight, so I wore my better hat and a good shirt. I mean, folks heading in between the Gulf storm to assist in recovery. So they should get ready for it. I think you need to be heading right there immediately. Idalia has been strengthened. Yeah, it might strike as a higher category storm. It's entirely possible. Entirely possible. Don't forget the blue tarp. Good point. Kathleen, I wouldn't trust anyone. Get as far away from the hurricane as possible. Yes, amen, Kathleen. Amen. That's the best thing. Best of us. Get out. Get out. Greg, we had a super weird lightning storm last night with no thunder. I mean, you didn't hear any thunder. You saw the lightning, but no thunder. Could have been that it's way off, or maybe just a very light lightning. I don't know. That's weird. It's hard for me to know what to say for that. Oh, miss from Cha-Cha. Dang it, I wish I wouldn't try to do that. Quit it. Trying to scroll through the screen every time I touch it. It's trying to take an action. All right. Oh, Cha-Cha, did you just lose everything? Insurance has left me in a hotel. Oh, so this is recent. This is the fires up in Canada? Oh my gosh. So many fires lately. Elk fire. Oh my God, Cha-Cha. All right, guys, we're going to pray for folks here. And then we're going to pray for Cha-Cha. Some stuff in here. Lots of smoke in the air, Metro New Orleans area. Her home was protected by her neighbors, all working together. One elderly man lost everything. You talking about Cha-Cha, Arnold? Angela Bloom. How you doing, Angela Bloom? How's your worms, Angela? I said, Angela did a good worm order for me a while back. Took me a while to get them delivered. But that's the last biggest worm order I put out. Florida Gulf, says Kathleen. Well, it's the Gulf of Mexico. It does go into Florida, around Florida. That's all Gulf of Mexico. That's not something. That storm was a drill. Roundup flashing, seemingly surrounding us. Ew. Coned turning in from South Australia. How do you say it? Adeline, 26 Celsius. Sounds pretty warm for wintertime down there. All summer in Spokane area this year. That's good to know. Drops. Pull my finger. Lots of clouds and potential tornadoes in West Florida. Yeah, especially a storm like that. A lot of potential for tornadoes. All right, I'm going to hear the cha-cha safe. Guys, I'm still going through the old chat here. Oh yeah, Rick, because I got to talk about the normies. Thank you for saying that. I'm seeing it again. I don't see nothing from that MW, whatever. He just come in, shot something, and ran out. He came in, threw his grenade under the door, and ran out like a chicken. All right. I asked him to respond. He didn't respond, which I said he wouldn't. All right. If you're still in the room and you want to say something, go for it. No, Cha-Cha Lee is not apologizing to me. You think he would do that? I never even banned him from my channel. I did not even unmod him. He went up telling the whole world that because I said I may, because he was already talking smack about my channel and my mods. And I said I may. I didn't say I would. I didn't say I did, but he came on and said that I did do that. So much for his accuracy. I've not done it yet, but maybe I should, because he might come in here and start just deleting folks. I don't know, guys. So, no, I don't think he'll ever apologize. I did try to call him back, but I was wanting to do a little fact searching first. I mean, I was in a meeting when he was trying to call me, which I was center stage in. It was a very important meeting. And then I tried to do some fact checking. When I heard from him, I was trying to call certain other mod to find out, some of what went down. And by the time I called him back, he wouldn't answer my phone call. So be it, whatever. Not going to lose any sleep over it. That he can run this channel however he sees fit. That's up to him. So I promise I could teach you as much as you can teach me. Hey, pull my finger, you probably can. We can all learn. And so they're doing great. I'm glad to hear your worms are doing great. That's awesome. Cha, I thought he might realize he was wrong. Yeah, well, Cha, he's not known. He's not well known for that. Maybe he will surprise us. But I saw him do a video where he was talking about how, I think he took it down, how we should be, how the Navy from the Western countries ought to just shoot missiles into Moscow, and how you wanted to go after a Marine. It's like, wow. I don't know. I don't need anything to do with him, I don't think, anyway. So I think it's probably a happy arrangement. So let him go. I'm not here to talk bad about him. He'll talk whatever. It's not my style. Let's just drop it. Let's forget about it. Let's move on. Let's take the high ground, forget it, and move on. I told him he should make peace with Greg, but he just keeps blaming me and Greg. Whatever, Arnold. Whatever. Let's get over it. Let's take the high ground and move on. So the heck with it, his loss. Anyway, all right, guys. Armageddon Sultan. I always thought it was Lee that nuked my rolling wind, and I don't know what that counts. What? Greetings from Europe. Hey, Armageddon's suntan. I don't know. All right, guys. So some people fall off the handle and can't find their way back to reality, says Vivian. Well, hey, I don't know, guys. I just know that, hey, number 5. Hey, thanks, Charles. Yeah, let's just stay above the fray if we can. I can hear you, but your camera's my camera's frozen? What's going on here? I don't know. Well, I'm doing a whole different format here. Oh, it is. I don't know why. Uh-oh. Zoom meeting not responding. I got a stop link here, guys. I don't know what's happening. Thank you, Seashell. Yeah, let's take the high ground and don't get caught up in all that mess. It's not going to do us any good. If he wants to, let him do whatever he wants to do. Like I say, he can run his channel however he wants. It's his channel. I don't know what's happened here. I wonder if it's my memory or if it's the satellite link. Well, I don't know. As I think with this, we probably should just go. As the video being hung up like this is not good. I don't know what the heck just happened. Can you hear me? Frozen. Listen like a podcast. Okay, CRUs. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. This video is just frozen. I haven't had this out before, but I'm on Starlink right now. I'm at somebody else's house. More mandates coming. Oh yeah, it's another topic we need to talk about. All that is a special topic, but yeah, there's a whole video probably. A whole lot of mandates probably coming at us. Yeah, cha-cha. It's frozen on my end. I can't make it do anything. So I don't know why it's frozen. It says not respond.